Hello and welcome back to Jerome Sport for the Season 3 finale. This season I've filmed 38 games of rugby across the UK, and so far Season 3 has been our most watched season. Today we're going to break down our best 40 players we've filmed across 4 different age categories. Joining me, Laura, in the discussion panel today, we've got Carl Hutchinson, who's the main man at Hull Wyke, and we've got Leon Stewart from Hull FC. You guys alright?
Yeah.
Lauren's going to talk us through the top 4 categories.
The top 40 are broken down into the following categories: top 10 open age, top 10 academy age, under 16s to under 19s, top 10 youth, under 14s to under 15s, and top 10 juniors, under 11s to under 13s.
Okay, so without much further ado, these are the top 10 open age players we've filmed so far this season.
This is an exclusive Monk Beats rhythm.
Right, so that was our open age category. Some really, really standout players there. Some really good athletes all round from all across the country. We were speaking earlier that we've got some teams from London, some teams from Wigan, some teams from Rowington and Widnes. So it's good to see teams from all over the UK showcasing our top 40. Carl, you took a sort of closer look at this category. Who sort of stood out for you?
Yeah, I mean, there's the right mix of players in there. A few kids who've been around the game quite a long time. Cookie, Ryan Langton, Ryan Steen, complete workhorse. Scotty Partis, absolutely amazing player. Played against him touch rugby and he's like lightning.
Yeah.
But the
Slippery.
the ones who, for me, is Alex Chatterton from Underbank. He's a kid that you look at and when you see him go on the field, he looks like a proper tough rugby player. The headband, the wake sort of thing. And the kid from London, Jared Bassett, good bit of exposure in the south.
Yeah. Jared's actually from Australia, so it's good to see him being mentioned, coming all the way across other side of the world and doing well, sort of building the game down in London. There's a couple of stand-ups for me in the open age category. For example, like you mentioned, Scott Partis, the guy's in his mid-30s and he's stepping guys half his age sort of thing, making them look really average. You've also got Gavin Rodden, I know he's going to be a favourite on this panel. He's captain fantastic from Wigan St Jude's and can literally win games on his own, goes around the whole team and scores, a million tries. So I think Scott Partis and Gavin Rodden are going to really, stand out players in the top 40 today.
Yeah, I had Gavin Rodden down as well. He scored 5 tries in that clip. He's a really influential captain and a really strong ball carrier.
Hey, there we are. So don't forget to comment below and let us know who you think should be crowned our best open age player of 2019. Also, don't forget that at the end of the top 40, you can buy our magazine, which will reveal the winners of each category. So there should be 4 winners, 1 for each category. And let us know in the comments below who you think is the best player. We're now going to move on to the next category, which is the academy age, under 16s to under 19. Right, so that was our academy age, our under 16s to under 19s. And once again, Carl, you took a closer look at this age group. Who stood out for you, mate?
Yeah, I mean, it's great to see this age group because I've known most of these kids since they've been 8, 9, 10, 11 and that, and see them from boys to men. Some absolute beasts of players in there. Big Dom Young at Huddersfield.
Oh, God, yeah.
Giant. The other kids, a lot of try machines in there, workhorses, everything you want in a young player, and most of them have cracking attitudes. For me, I like the kid at Wigan, Logan Astley. He's come from Union, looks like he's another one off their production line. The kid with the Tattoo Heath, John Bennison, really good pace. Mikey Lewis, absolute standout. He's going to be a star of the future. But for me, I think probably the big one was Jude Ferreira. He scores tries for fun.
He does, yeah. He's a
just
really
like
nice
to
lad
see
as
him
well,
play.
Jude. Yeah, really nice lad. Great rugby attitude. I always say rugby is 50% attitude, 50% skill, and Jude's got both in abundance, so it's good to see him up there. Lauren, who stood out for you?
I've got Bailey Hodgson. He really stood out for me. At Cass, he's definitely going to be an absolute Super League superstar for them. Really fast, superb finisher. You can just see the talent that he's got. I also had both Michael Lewis and Riley Dean deserve a mention. Obviously, both made the Super League debuts this year, and you can just see why they're both in the halves and both really talented players.
Ace, yeah, I agree with a lot of the names you mentioned. Obviously, start of the season for me, it was the battle of the Baileys. So we've got Bailey Hodgson and Bailey Dawson. Both these players for me stood out really early. Dawson for me has done really well because he's come a long way in terms of his, physicality and his skill level. He's had a really good season, obviously playing for England. Dom Young as well, like he said, he's a really physical player. I think the commentator, when he was on Our League on Live, referred to him as Joe Nalumu because obviously he's a really big, strong lad. He's got great attributes to do well. I think every player you saw in the under 16s to 19s category, have every opportunity to become a Super League superstar in the future.
It was definitely the hardest category, for sure, because they're all at that stage where they're all either representing England, Yorkshire, they've all got scholarships, so they're all at that level where they are becoming kind of professional.
Right, so don't forget, if you want to find out who wins each category, you can purchase our magazine for just £2 on our website. So head to www.grmsport.com/shop and order your magazine now. On this year's front cover, we've got Elland Rugby Club, and that's because they're our Club of the Year for 2019. Also inside, we've got a few pieces on Coach of the Year, Club of the Year, and a section on the GRM Sport Challenge Cup. Also, let us know in the comments below who you think should win each category. So the next category is our youth category, which is under 14s to under 15s. so that was our youth category, under 14s to under 15s. And Leon, you're at Hollowsea Academy, aren't you? So it's quite good for you to sort of take a look at these lads coming up, because you know you were at this age last year. In fact, you was in this category last year.
Yeah.
So who are your standouts?
I really think Levi Edwards from Siddle, because he's an absolute tank. He just never stops running, and he's got a good pair of hands on him.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to play against a player like
Really versatile. You can
Yeah.
play in the forwards, and you're going to play a few back positions as well.
Yeah.
He's pretty hard to stop. Who else did you pick as a standout?
Like Nick Staveley, because obviously when in the clip he's playing halfback and he's a loose forward.
Yep.
So he's got everything same as Levi. So I think he deserves it.
So Lauren, who did you pick for the under 14s, 15s category?
I also had Nick Staveley down. He was a really strong ball carrier, like Leon said. He was playing in the halves despite being a loose forward, and he made Westall look average. Westall a really good team to play, and he did really well in the attack against them.
Yeah, just want to point out we're actually filming at West Hall, and as soon as Lauren said that, the entire room went silent. So daggers. I'm gonna have to carry Lauren out in a bag or something just to keep her safe. So standouts for me, Kieran Masiki. He's come a long way, similar to Bailey Dawson, where Bailey was sort of overshadowed by various players in his team who were doing really well, but he's got talent. Kieran's the same. He's a really good player, but he's been overshadowed for the past couple of seasons. But this season, he's made it his best to sort of try and stand out and play his best rugby. And I think it's going to pay off. I reckon you're going to see Kieran Masiki for years to come. Another standout was Nick Staveley, but I won't mention him because everyone's picking him. But Sam Oakes, I call him the body snatcher. Does some really punishing tackles in that clip, and he's also a really good runner. Really polite lad with a great attitude. I think he's the captain at Ryland Sharks. So for me, the two standouts would be Kieran Masiki and Sam Oakes, with Nick Staveley sort of creeping in there as well. Don't forget to let us know in the comments below who you think should win the Youth Player of the Year. That's under 14s to under 15s. Right, before we move on to the final category, I just want to say a massive thank you to the sponsors who've helped us with the top 40 this season. So we've got Love Rugby League, we've got Hodgson Rendering Specialists, Bala, 1895 Sports, Stack Sports, and the Daniel Wilkinson Foundation. Massive thank you to all of our sponsors, because without you, there'll be no top 40 this season. Also, don't forget to buy our magazine at www.grmsport.com/shop to find out who wins from each category in our top 40. Right, so moving on to our final category, which is the junior group. These are under 11s to under 13s.
This is an exclusive Monk Beats rhythm.
that was our final category, the junior age group, which is our under 11s to under 13s, the best 10 in no particular order. Leon, who are your standouts?
For me, Freddie Watts is the standout player because he delivers some big hits. I mean, the kid's taller than me.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's what, just because he's just dominant in a tackle and he always puts them to the ground.
From a physical point of view, he is an absolute unit for his age. I think he's 12 or 13, so he's going to be one to watch for the future. Anybody else stand out for you in that list, or is he your main guy?
I think he's just the
main guy, the standout guy.
Yeah.
Laura, what about you? Any standouts?
I had Oliver Forsyth down. He was a real good ball catcher. He's been described as a big, pacey kid, which I kind of agree with. He's really fast. And I've been told that he's good at all sports, so he must just be naturally really sporty
Gifted,
and versatile.
There we are. I had a few standouts. I'm going to go stick to two. So Declan Williamson from Hull Wyke. He's one of my standouts. Great runner. He's quite a big, tough lad. Plays in the forwards, but he can easily outpace many wingers. Great step. He's going to embarrass many backlines as he gets older. Another one is Elijah Robinson, son of Jason Robinson at Siddle. He's strong, fast, and he's definitely one to keep an eye on because as he gets older, he's only going to get better and better. Don't forget to let us know in the comments below who you think should be crowned our Junior Player of the Year, which is our under 11s to under 13s.
If you would like to find out who will be crowned winners of any of the 4 categories from this year's Top 40, be sure to purchase our End of Year magazine for just £2 on the GRM Sport website.
Super. So that's been our Season 3 finale. Thank you for supporting me this season. It's been a massive year in terms of numbers. I think last year my most watched video was 42,000 views, and that was the last video of the year. And this year, most watched video was 95,000 views. So almost 100,000 people watched England Academy, which Leon was playing in against France. Really good game. Stat-wise, it's gone through the roof. Our target was 5,000 subscribers. We beat that. So we've got targets for next year. So help us beat those targets. And I'll see you again in 2020.